Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. We've had some huge announcements by Ripple regarding the XRP ledger just come while I've been asleep tonight. I'm going to break them down in this video. I'm going to spend most of the video talking about that, but just quickly to start with, I'm going to talk about price action because it's extremely important. If we look at XRP against the dollar, we're currently at a really key level here. If we break this level, we've got a break in the low time frame structure of the market. So basically what I'm saying is if we get a close above 57, then we've invalidated this current downtrend, which is like a succession of lower highs and lower lows, because we will have created a higher high essentially, and then we should continue to the upside. The reason this is important is because, as you guys know, we've been really watching XRP against Ethereum and XRP against Bitcoin, and we've been looking for XRP to continue its outperformance against Ethereum, where, again, it's created a succession of higher lows. And I said yesterday, we got to this point where it was decision time, whether we're going to continue with this trend or whether we were going to reverse. And now we have actually had a bounce since then. I'll show you on the hourly because it was what I actually posted. Because I said that we're down near the oversold area for the RSI and the hourly for XRP against ETH. So I did want to see a bounce there. It was basically our chance to continue. And so far we have actually seen that bounce. But again, we need to break this cluster here and realistically close above this 0.0002. 234 level because then we can continue. That would then make us a higher high after a successive higher low. Against Bitcoin, similarly, we broke out of the wedge. We've been sitting on top of this wedge as support. We had a little bounce, but then corrected quite quickly yesterday. Look, bounced up, pulled back down, and now we hopefully can continue this move to the upside and see XRP's outperformance against Bitcoin and ETH. Just quickly going to touch on Bitcoin's price action in general. I'm going to look actually at trading different here for the liquidity pools. We've got liquidity for Bitcoin up here at 65,000. We've got more deep liquidity at 66, but we also have quite a big pocket of liquidity here at around $53,500 for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's indecision, in my opinion, right now. We could come and take this short-term liquidity at 61, come back down, take the 53, or we could start to see maybe a move towards the upside here for Bitcoin on a larger time frame. I do think we are close to that. I said that I've been looking for catalysts, etc., for that to happen. Right, without further ado, I'm going to get into the Ripple XRP news. I think it's extremely important that we just cover on it because I'm quite a big XRP holder and we cover it a lot on this channel. So, Ripple was working on the ground this week in Korea and Japan, starting off with a few key announcements, all in service of the goal to strengthen the foundations of crypto infrastructure to support blockchain utility and usability for institutional adoption. This is the most important thing that I am taking away from this announcement. Everything they're saying here is, in my opinion, to go towards institutional adoption and institutional DeFi. We know as XRP holders that Ripple are trying to build something for institutions. That's always been the narrative, and I think that's continuing. So just to start with, before we touch on, well, there's two really big points here, actually. I didn't know I think the second one is bigger, I'm going to talk about in a second, but we'll go to the first one first. AI and Metaverse company Futureverse is partnering with Ripple Custody to securely custody its assets. Futureverse has already adopted the XRPL NFT standard, uses XRP as a gas token on the root network, and is integrated with the XRPL DEX to supply liquidity for the network. Basically, Futureverse is creating like a big metaverse game, and it's building with, in partnering with Ripple, Ripple going to be custodying assets for the game and their assets specifically. I think it's great because I've been saying how important I think gaming is going to be in our future, and I think this is showing that Ripple are open towards working with gaming companies. I have said many times how much I think gaming is going to impact our future. In humanity, actually, to be honest, I don't want that to be like a hyperbole statement, but in humanity. But this is the big one, guys. In my opinion, let's just skip past it. This is the big one. Ripple and the broader XRP community are committed to bringing new programmability, including smart contracts, to the XRPL dev ecosystem in 2025 through the XRPL EVM sidechain, which is already in the works. They're working with Peersys for that, as well as exploring native capabilities on the XRPL Mainnet. So basically, I'm going to try and break this down quickly because I feel like I ramble quite a lot sometimes. Basically, they're going to try and bring smart contracts onto the XRPL Mainnet, which people don't really understand, but it's massive. And I think that the reasoning for this is to provide proper decentralized financial options for institutions. We're seeing a big narrative of Ripple doubling down on institutional DeFi and institutional transactions with the XRPL. It's always been that way specifically, but institutional DeFi with the introduction of RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, and then potentially now smart contracts integrating into the mainnet. It's going to provide massive capability for the XRP ledger. Why would the XRP ledger be good for this? If they can implement this properly, it's probably one of, if not the most time-tested, battle-tested networks. It's robust, it's cheap, it's energy efficient. It's everything that everyone's battling to do if we can get smart contracts onto the ledger. So I'm going to talk about price action in a second. They're basically just saying though here that they just want like new features for the layer 1, and they're going to work with the community to do it. Escrows, NFTs, trust lines, payment channels, DEX and AMM provide a common set of composable primitive serving as a variety of use cases, and they are just going to try and continue to develop on that. It's very exciting. It probably won't come into fruition until at least late 25, but this is the big but. We need a narrative for price action for people to be able to speculate, and often price moves before introduction of key components. So this could be a big narrative for the XRPL going forward. If we get some sort of short-term catalyst and then people start to bring a lot of hype to the XRP ledger, introduction of smart contract capability, like realistically, and this isn't me throwing any shade or heat at anything, the XRP ledger is more robust than Solana's network, which goes down, often gets congested, etc. We haven't really seen that. There's rumors of that happened like one time in like 2013, one time in like 2013. But then also, and Solana's taken obviously a bigger market share currently at the crypto market than XRP. So there's that, which is, I use Solana as an example because it's a fast and cheap smart contract platform. And then looking at the largest smart contract platform being Ethereum, like I really like ETH and Solana. There's nothing against either of those, but ETH is flipping hard to use. It's slow and it's expensive. And so if we can, in the XRP community, in the XRP ledger, can implement their brain, the ETH brain, the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine sort of brain into the XRP ledger, it is something that could definitely take a large share of the crypto space in general, especially with how proved out the network is and how long it's just been running successfully and how many ledgers it's closed. So there's definitely room to get behind this narrative as something that could really spark some impressive price action, especially after these 4 years or so that we've just been basically just churning along under the SEC's lawsuit. No announcements really. All of a sudden we're coming out the back of this lawsuit, and we're starting to see announcements like this from Ripple, introduction of smart contracts, custody and assets for big gaming companies. Like, I'm excited to see what comes very soon. Let's see if we can get past the end of the SEC like negative narrative, and I think there's positivity around the corner. This is like, I'm very, very bullish on this. I'm not quite digested it completely, but basically means that I really think they're using this to attack institutional DeFi, like a proven network with big, deep ties with businesses and banks around the world, allowing another push towards like tokenizing real world assets. We know they've been trying to do that for a long time. There's going to be optionality here for big things to happen on the network, and I think that's where we can get the next leg of our narrative to come in that could really push price action a lot higher for XRP. I know that's what a lot of people look for, and I look for that too. Like I'm holding for profit. I'm not holding to make a loss. But it's very exciting news, and if you want me to touch any more on it, I'll try and deliver some more short-term, some more like short-form content too. But please let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Share it with a friend if you enjoyed this video. Yeah, and subscribe if you don't already. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.